In today's lesson, we're going to be diving into lash extension primers. What is a lash primer and how to use it? First up, what is a lash extension primer? So your primer is going to be used as a pre-service lash treatment. You should be using it before every single lash extension service. Its goal is to strip the natural lashes of oils, most importantly, dirt, and debris. Now, you might be wondering, well, do I have to cleanse before I use a lash primer, or is the primer going to do the trick for me? To answer that question, ideally, we're cleansing and priming every single client. So, with the primer, not only is it getting rid of and stripping all of those oils, but also the primer is an alcohol-based product. It's going to swell the cuticle so it opens. So for visual representation, let's think about blinds for a second. Envision the blinds being a hair shaft. When the blinds are completely closed, there's no light getting through. Versus when you open the blinds, you can see there's light coming through every single one of those holes in the blinds. So that's what we're doing to the hair shaft. We're opening it up. And the reason why that's important is because we want the glue that we're using to not only sit on the exterior outside of the hair shaft, we also want it to penetrate inside of the hair shaft so it really grabs hold and it's going to last for as long as humanly possible. Think about it. If we're connecting extensions onto oils or the outside of the hair shaft, it's much more likely that those lashes are going to fall off much faster than if the glue really hugs inside. One thing I want to note about lash extension primers is that they are not all created equally. So we talked about them being an alcohol-based product, and that's really important. But what about if you have a client with very brittle natural lashes, with not a lot of health or oils or strength to them? Is a primer the best option? For those clients, you have three options. You can just cleanse and go right into lashing that person. The more brittle natural lashes, likely they already have holes in them. Think about your hair. People who color their hair blonde, they're actually taking that pigment out of the hair shaft and leaving holes in the hair. So if you have really brittle natural lashes, then likely the cuticle's already open. So primer may not be necessary, but at Lost Artistry, we've created our primer with those clients in mind as well. You'll definitely hear at some point in the industry that primers are too drying for the natural lash. And if you open up a bottle of primer and it smells really harsh and really strong, like in some cases even kind of smells like gasoline or some kind of a harsh chemical, those primers you want to steer clear of. They're too highly concentrated. So here at Lost Artistry, we have, yes, used an alcohol-based product for the base of our primers, but we've also added nutrients into the bottle. So when you open our Bond-Aid primer, it will smell nice and fruity. This is ideal. It does the job, but it does not strip too many oils from the natural lash. Just enough. So your third option, so you can either cleanse. Your option number one is you can cleanse only. Your option number two is you can cleanse and prime, which is ideal. And your option number three, for those clients who have weaker or more brittle natural lashes, or they don't have a really thick natural lash that you need to penetrate through, for those clients, you can actually use Super Bonder. So Super Bonder is excellent. It can be used as a primer and should definitely be used as a post-service treatment. But you can use it as a primer as well. Why? Because it also opens up the cuticle, but this Super Bonder also has an instant curing property in it. So what that means is when you place your extension, the glue is not only going to penetrate into the cortex of the natural lash, but also it's going to have an extra quick suction. So it's going to cure instantly. The reason why I'm suggesting this is if you find that for some clients, it takes a lot longer for your glue to cure, it might be nice to even start by priming and then also use Super Bonder in the beginning of the service as well. So you get that drop and instant grab as well as the long-lasting retention. Okay, so in a nutshell, that is what your primer is intended to do. So let's summarize it real quick. It's a pre-service treatment. You're going to use it on every single one of your clients. and it's going to help make the lashes connect easier, faster, and last for longer. Alrighty, so to prime, you're gonna want your Band-Aid primer or super bonder or super bonder. You're gonna want micro swab or lint-free applicators, and you're gonna want glue wipes or a paper towel. So you're gonna open up your bottle. There's a little top inside that you're gonna wanna open. It's important to close this when you're done. Any alcohol-based product, if you leave it open, it's going to evaporate. Very important. Now, take your lint-free applicator or micro swab applicator, and you're going to saturate one micro swab with the product. You never reuse your micro swab applicators. They are disposable. Once you touch your client with them, no longer dip them in your bottle. That would be considered cross-contamination, a definite no-no in the industry. Now, we have the micro swab applicator. It has been fully saturated. That's great. However, this product, primer, is not to ever touch your client's skin or go in their eyes. And if you have a fully saturated micro swab applicator, then we have to worry about gravity taking over and the product rolling down the natural lash and into the eyes or on the skin. If it gets in the eyes or if it touches the skin, it will feel like it's burning for the client. So it's really important not to touch them with the product. That doesn't mean to scare you. If you touch a little tiny bit, it's not going to be the end of the world, but really important to not oversaturate your brush. So how you're going to do that is you're going to take an additional lint-free applicator or micro swab applicator. You're going to transfer the product onto the other wand. That's making sure it doesn't drip. That's helping prevent the dripping. Then, just to cover your bases, you're going to take your glue wipe, and you're just gonna dab any excess on the glue wipe. Now you know you have product, but you're not overusing it. Envisioning that the eye pads are already on, you have two options. One, you take a micro swab applicator, you put it underneath the base of the natural lash on the underside, closest to the eye pad. And then you take your top micro swab applicator and on the opposite side of the natural lashes, work the product into the mids of the natural lash. Then you move closer once you know there's no excess product left on there, and then you work that product into the natural lash. Don't waste it on the tips. It's not necessary. You're never going to apply your extensions to the tips of the natural lash. This is meant to help with the bonding point. So you want to get it close to the base, but again, you don't want to touch the skin. That's why we start at the middle of the lash and then we work it down into the base. So gravity, again, is going to take over. Some of that product's going to roll down the hair shaft and get to the base. And once you've covered the entire eye with the product, then you're going to take the remaining product and you're going to really work it into the base. You want to cover the entirety of the natural lash because sometimes we place our extensions on the top, sometimes we place on the bottom, and sometimes we place on the sides. So you need to make sure that that whole natural lash has been covered in primer. After you've done that and you've repeated it on the other eye, then I suggest taking your fan. I'm using Lost Artistry's Gluberator because it is a dual product where it's a fan and a glue shaker all in one. You're going to use your fan and make sure that all the product has absorbed into the hair shaft. And from there, you're ready to lash.